Hi everyone, it's Blast coming to you with another video. My first video with the middle of 70-200 unfortunately had to be cut short due to a fatal CTD mid-flight. Those tend to happen when you have a lot of add-ons. So I'll probably do another video where we have full flight with the middle of this one. But in the meantime, I thought I would do another plane. So I'm coming to you with the Bristol Freighter, which is also a Prepar3d version 4 compatible, or I guess created for Prepar3d version 4 plane, but that also works, at least to my knowledge, quite flawlessly in Prepar3d version 5. So let's see. Hopefully we have better luck this time. I'm just gonna check because I don't know if I did. It does have some sort of loading system, I think, like a manager. It's a bit tiny, but I don't think you can kind of put, make it a bit bigger. I don't think you can do like the fuel stuff on this one. But you can basically open like the nose door and stuff. It has some nice, I guess, fun features in this regard. You can have like a combi bus or a mini bus, or a mini car loaded in it. So it's quite an interesting one. My knowledge about this aircraft is really thin. I mean, obviously it's a cargo aircraft. I think it was like late World War II design, 1944 perhaps. I think it's originally probably military use and then also used for cargo. I mean, it's quite I would assume quite a large cargo bay for that time. And as you can see now when I open the nose doors, you can see you can fit an old car in there. Or two old cars, I would assume. I'm gonna guess there's another one, yeah, in the back there. That's, I guess, the mini car. And then you have some other cool stuff like the covers and stuff that you can put on. Nothing spectacular, of course, but quite nice additions. Let me see if I have any other menus in this one. I think it's only that one. Possibly you have a few menus that maybe doesn't work in Prepar3d version 5. I'm just gonna give the benefit of the doubt. So yeah, the Bristol Freighter. What else would be interesting to talk about it? I guess it's a piston engine aircraft. I don't think that many were built. Maybe like 200 of these. So maybe not the most common aircraft even during its heyday. But they had operations around the world. I'm pretty sure it was Australia, South America, the UK definitely. And that's why we're here at the Birmingham airport. I'm just going to do a short VR flight to Cardiff. What else? I think you also have like an extended version, like the Super Freighter or something, like Bristol Super Freighter, which is just like a bigger version of this one, or at least an extended fuselage. But that's, yeah, that kind of summarizes what I know about this aircraft. But yeah, an interesting one. I don't think, let me see, oh yeah, the gears. So you basically can't retract the gears. That's also, I guess, kind of an interesting thing, which I didn't realize until I took it for some flying. But I guess that kind of makes sense. It's a freighter during this time. You probably didn't do too long flights, so I guess the drag wouldn't have been that bad. And I guess you would need the hydraulic and similar stuff for the gears, so I guess you would save a buck and some weight on that. But okay, so let's see. The flight today is gonna be a short one, like I said, Birmingham to Cardiff. I think that's quite sufficient to kind of just show you the ropes of this aircraft and show you kind of the fidelity. I would say this is like it's quite okay system-wise. You have like the autopilot, you have quite a lot of clickable buttons, but I think like the engine start is like one button, maybe just to like switch the fuel lever to on. I'm pretty sure the original or the real plane wouldn't have had it that simple, but you know, I could be wrong, of course. But let me just show you here on the screen, on my second screen. So basically, we'll just do like a hop from Birmingham to this VOR, Brecon, and then probably get vectored in for the runway 30 approach to Cardiff, which should be the nice approach right here at the beach. And I've actually myself, as a passenger, flown into Cardiff. It was a while back, 2019, actually from Amsterdam with the KLM City Jets. Pretty sure it was an Embraer 190 or 170 or something like that. But okay, let's jump back into the scene. So not too much pilot briefings to do. I'm just gonna check maybe quickly my fuel and payload. So we have a full fuel, quite a high gross weight compared to our max. Let's just decrease a bit maybe. I would have hoped, usually like it's a sign of a good fidelity aircraft to have like your own kind of like fuel and payload manager, but this have to do. I got this free from FSAddon. They don't sell it anymore, but you can reach out to the guy online, and he provided this for free, so that was really grateful for that. Hopefully, someone else will be able to host, because it's a shame to see like people's creations get forgotten. As long as there's still a market, right? Should be up there somehow, even as freeware or who knows, paper again maybe. But okay, so I'm gonna jump into the cockpit. As you can see, quite okay looking. I mean, nothing fancy. I mean, the real aircraft probably wasn't that fancy either. I do like the fact that it's, kind of everything is in here, even though you can see here it's like 2D panels. But like if you go down, I'm just gonna slowly go down, you'll basically see that they've also modeled like the interior of the aircraft. Of course here the cars aren't visible, so that's a bit sad, but that's just extras. I mean, usually I just fly the plane from the cockpit, but it's kind of good to know. But yeah, quite a nice cargo bay actually. So let's see, I'm just gonna switch back then to the right view. I haven't set up my chase plane profile correctly yet. So, let's see. So if I remember this correctly, it's quite an easy... I think I also have somewhere a checklist for this aircraft. So basically I think, yeah, there was a checklist that came with this, but this is kind of like a simple one. It's like the battery one, which is this switch. That should of course be on first. Ground power, I think this one should be switched. Let me see if I do ground, then we got that one. If I do flight, it's away, so let's do ground and ground. Not sure what this one did. Probably related both to the ground power. Let's see, lights are here. So we have nav lights, instrumental lights. Haven't seen this one working in any notable extent, but that could also be because, older airplane, maybe not the most developed interior lighting. But okay, so let's see. Nav light should be... Let me see. Why isn't this one? Ah, there we go. Steady. Then we have landing lights. I think we have the pitot heats here. Well, that's not that's not lighting, but it's or that's not lights, but it's a good to know switch. The fuel flows, I guess you would want to keep those. Let me see, that was maybe the de-icing pump, right? Yes, that we probably don't need. The weather looked, apart from I guess the rain that you can see kind of here and the thunder clouds, you can see the cumulu omnibus or whatever they're called. I think the weather should be reasonable, but let's see. Fuel flow should be on though, if I remember correctly. Let me just double check the destination weather. Yeah, quite hard winds, but visibility should be fine. No precipitation. Yeah, looks good. Let's also double check our altimeters. I don't know why, but sometimes it's not reported by active skies. That's a bit odd. But yeah, let's not worry about that too much. Okay, so fuel flow. Let's see, what else do we have? So pitot heat should be off still. Yeah, props forward, and I think the props are forward. If I'm not, the throttles are not, but the props are. Those are here. Trim tab. Let's see, that's the trim, and you can kind of see. Interesting though. I wonder if this is like mechanical or hydraulic trim. I'm not sure how they kind of did the old ones, but I guess you wouldn't be able to move that until you have like the engine started, but could be wrong. Let me see if there's anything else then. Flight controls, I did it free. Let's see, mixture check. So fuel cooks are on. Fuel selectors run. And the mixtures are... Now this is interesting actually. Where do they have the mixtures on this one? It could be that they're not modeled. Because I guess you would have lean and then outer rich. Let me see if I can find the mixture level. So it should be in this, I'm pretty sure. Probably these ones. Interestingly enough, I guess they don't have an option to kind of tweak them any further. But okay, and then we would want to have some throttles, I guess, when we're starting the engines. Let me see. Sorry for this jumping. I really need to set that chase plane profile. I'm just going to do it at the same time. Show you chase plane as well. I like it a lot because you can kind of tweak and put your own presets. But I mean, I probably won't need any of these apart from captain, so I usually just remove them. But it's nice in the sense that you can kind of just switch. And you can make your own kind of nice views. Sorry, I had to cough a bit. Okay, so let's see. Next step, okay, so the engine primers are here, the start runs are there. I'm trying to think, what else do you need for the prop ones? It's magnetos, right? But I think they're up here, and they are on. I think there's a cover. So they look to be on, that's nice. And then we should check all the oil pressure and stuff, but I think those probably aren't modeled, so that should be fine. I also don't think, I'm not sure if the manifold pressure works, it goes quite high. Could of course be in line with the real aircraft, but I'm just used to like the DC-3 or the DC-6, you know, and you have to kind of like balance that to make sure it doesn't go too high. But okay, I think that's it. So now we should be ready for engine start. But before we do that, let's just connect so we can get kind of the radar or the ATC set up. And I think I showed you that last video, but it's quite simple with pilot to ATC, so I just kind of configure it. I'm just gonna call myself Atlantic. I'll just keep the same flight tail number 4003. Atlantic. Then let's connect. Now we are connected. And now we are getting the 80s from pilot ATC. 29901. Okay. So there we got the altimeter. think we're taking off from runway 30 or 33, sorry, 33 is the Birmingham one, I think. But we're landing on the 30. Let me just switch this so we don't have to listen to that. So we get the clearance, I'll file the flight plan, and then I'll just talk to the ATC, which is quite quick. Atlantic 4003, ready to copy, IFR clearance. And now we're getting the readout 1.5. So I guess a bit different than what I anticipated with the, which I guess would make sense if the wind, I didn't check the wind now. Okay, variable.
4003 is cleared to Echo Golf Foxtrot as filed. Climb and maintain 4,000 feet.
I think this is
higher clearances 2 minutes after departure.
I think this is closer to our position actually. I think runway 15 is here when compared to 3, which is like down there, so it will be a quicker one, I think. Let me just check for pushback if we can. I think we can kind of drive ourselves out of this.
Altimeter is
quite a big position.
1 ground on 121.8 Atlantic 4003.
I guess there. I'm wondering now where's the cargo for the Birmingham airport. It's probably down there. I just took a nice one that had quite a bit of space to just because how it's lazy, to be honest, but it will work, I think, for this video. Okay, good. Let me just check as well, so we get kind of squawk 4126. I think we can put that into our radio. So 4126. 6. Then we can also already put the VOR 117.45. I think we're gonna be tracking it with, let me see which one. This is the one that you have kind of the VR needles. So let me just see that we can set this up. I think the way you kind of do it is you change from EDF, and then you would, I guess, want to switch to the so that's where it is, and we want to do a track of, or I guess a course of 231, right? So then I guess we would move it like this, if I'm not totally off. Let me see if there's any other. Or wait, now I I just realized this is probably so old school that this is probably just kind of like you should align this with the current heading that we have. So like, what is it, like 15? We're like almost 16, right? Let me just see if I can. I guess that would be the VR needle. God, I haven't I've become too used to this new kind of system, so well, let's see. I mean, I do have the pilot to ATC one, so I can kind of cheat by looking at that one to make sure I'm turning correctly. Let's see. So we need to be ready for pushback, I think, for pilot to ATC. Atlantic 4003, ready for pushback. There we get the pushback clearance, which I'm just going to use to kind of start the engines. So let's see, we'll kind of prime them, I think, was the, and then let's just, I guess we would start with one of both. Let's just do the right one. Kind of a quick start as well. So not totally realistic, but hey, it works for the for the flight sim part of it. I still don't want to, with all these small things, still, not every aircraft has to be like highest fidelity, but of course it's nice the higher fidelity they are, and I think you can see that now with micro flights in a lot of these aircraft that probably wouldn't have been made in the past, or not made in the past up to the point of that high fidelity are now being made up till that kind of high fidelity, with all these kind of things. Just looking at like the Just Flight products that are coming out now, they're much better, I would say, than the TTD ones. But okay, so we got the right engine start. Let's just do prime and then the left. Should be equally fast. Yeah. And then let's see, I think I have a tail wheel lock. Switch off after takeoff. Switch on before flying. I think this is also one thing I guess you could have as like a negative with this plane. I kind of like with the airplane having these three that you kind of have to use the differential braking to kind of taxi. With this one, it doesn't work that well. I guess it could make sense because of kind of the aircraft. You kind of like it's possible to taxi this one by using like the tiller axis, which I think kind of it was set up for that. So that's a bit unfortunate. I think you can kind of do it with the differential braking, but it didn't work that well. It was also one of the gripes I have with the DC-3 or the freeware DC-3 from Manfred John, is that the taxiing there didn't seem totally realistic as well for like a tail wheeler, whatever you call them, the ones with the tail tire. But okay, let's see. I think we have all the engines started. That's good. I don't think we need these ones. We can go into flight. That should be good. Then I think we can go to Prepar3d and just let them know we're ready to taxi. Atlantic 4003, ready to taxi. I'm probably not gonna get like a detailed one as well. I best don't have a look how it's set up, so we can kind of get like the taxi guidance. But okay, so next step should be quite straightforward. I guess just starting to taxi. I guess we can kind of like put flaps, do one level of flaps. Usually that should be sufficient, at least for these kind of slow moving planes. Let's do the trim as well. It was like 3 steps. That's like 2, and that's 3. So that should be perfect. It's raining outside. This one doesn't have really any sort of like animation for the rain, so that's a bit unfortunate, but we do have, I think, let me see, what was this? This was windscreen wiper. Ah, there we go. So there we go. Now we have the windscreen wiper. I wonder if it's only on one side or if we do have one on the other as well. Possibly, I would assume. But okay, so let's taxi out of here. Let's try the differential braking first. Let me just check engines looking good. No concern in that regard. Trims are correct. The flight controls seem to be working, so we don't have an issue with that. Any other things? Yeah, okay. Do we have like taxi lights? Or similar? We have taxi lamps, so that's nice. And then you probably wouldn't put the pitot heats. I think with these old ones there, you should like put on just before takeoff. I'm just gonna put them now so I don't forget. It would be unfortunate not to be able to see what our speed is once we get up in the air. So let's see. Okay, so differential braking isn't really working that well. Let's just check if I move this. Okay, now it was working a bit better.
Go ahead, flight deck.
Okay, I'm just gonna disconnect this one. I have it connected to my tail wheel command, so that's why it's a bit. Let's see if I can kind of get this one. it was working, but didn't want to turn. Sorry for this, a bit immersion braking. I guess you would need more speed as well anyway. Probably should have been pushed back from here. I'm just gonna do a bit of a dirty one here. Let me see. So now I think it's locked. Let me see then. I think that should then be... Okay, yeah, now it's okay, so now I understand. Okay, so basically it's connected to the tiller axis. So you, the differential braking isn't really working as it should in this one. Of course, could be that it had a tiller. I doubt it though with a tail wheeler. Or with a tail dragging aircraft. But, so yeah, I'm just gonna use my tiller axis. Okay, let's see. There we shall be on the kind of center line here of the taxi. There we go. Okay, going to runway 15. Okay, I'm just going to be checking the VR at the same time, because now we're changing, but we are not seeing any difference on that one. So is this one it's probably not I'm just wondering if it's connected to our own, like if it's caged or not, but I mean, let's just fly. I know the heading, the track is easy, it's the course is 233 or 231. Let me see, and there we have runway 33 and runway 15. I'm just gonna continue. I wonder if this has been like an old runway, like maybe for like general aviation or something. It seems quite wide for being just like totally effective. I guess probably an old airport. The UK has quite a lot of them. A lot of great airplanes coming from the UK in the past. Unfortunately, not that many of them were commercial successes. Like the VC10. What else do we have? I guess the back 111 wasn't that. It was I guess one of the better commercial successes, and then the Hawker Siddeley, the Comet, original jetliner. So yeah, quite a lot of. Quite a lot of different aircraft coming from the UK in terms of commercial variations that weren't that great of successes. But of course they had like a lot of other types of aircrafts that, I mean, look at World War II, Spitfires, Hurricanes, a lot of nice ones. So let's see what
18.3 and landing 4003.
we got the handover to tower now. Yeah, this is really what I like with Pilot Agency. You can just have like the co-pilot doing all this talking. So you kind of, you feel the immersion. If you want to talk yourself, you can do that, respond to them, or you just want to do the basics. I kind of prefer just going along because, sometimes I'll just do a long haul, leave the computer on, and then I'll just let the co-pilot do the discussions. Okay, let's see then. We should be going 233, so that'll mean a bit of a right turn. So we're going for runway 15. Kind of align with that, and then let's have a look. Could be that it's picking up another VR radio, but let's see. I guess we can ask later. I'm just gonna ask now so don't forget. Atlantic 4003, ready for takeoff.
Hold short runway 15 Atlantic 4003.
We gotta hold short. Hold short, and then... Oh, and then we get clear for takeoff. God, I got worried for a while, so it's like... I don't think it picks up the AI aircraft though, Prepar3d, but... Maybe so maybe I'm correct in that regard, but yeah. Not sure why it gave us a hold short. First time it happened to me, actually. Would be nice if you kind of interacted with the AI, but I think there's a new pilot to ATC version called version 3 that's gonna have like a bit more kind of like these sort of like additions. At least I'm hoping. I haven't looked too closely at what it will contain, but let's hope. The more the merrier, because I really like it. It's quite easy to get, you know, to get a hang of it, and then you know you can easily use it. Okay, let's see. So this is 1 to 5 now. I'm just gonna stop for a bit and make sure that everything is kind of set. Well, that makes sense. It's kind of showing, and now it's kind of moving its own. It's showing 2, 1. I think I'm just gonna put it on the one I want. Let's see what happens. Okay, now we are gonna be doing a right turn. Okay, let's pull up nice and slow. I'm just gonna turn off the tail locking mechanism, or turn on the tail lock. Let's see, just before I put the code, forgot the landing lights. I think it was that one, but I'm gonna have a check in a while. Let's see, okay, so let's do takeoff thrust. Yeah, I probably should focus on the takeoff rather than the lights. I think it's probably more important, even though you know you can have issues with the runway lights aren't on in case someone else is coming in for landing. Okay, let's see, 100 knots. I think we can start to kind of, we're getting up now, so let's do this slowly and gently. There we go. I think we need to trim this plane quite a bit more. Just to kind of get a nice... There we go. And I guess we would have said gear up in normal circumstances, but we don't have that option. Okay, so let's turn towards our heading of 2, 3, 1. So we're above 400 feet, so that's perfect. Let me just have a quick look whilst we're doing that and check. Oh yeah, I had the landing lights. Great, turn them off. Make a great real-life pilot. No, but I guess if you're gonna be a real pilot, even if it's like just private, I guess the only thing I've seen from watching all these different clips, pilot debrief and similar, is just make sure you have a checklist and follow that religiously. A bit like you would as a lawyer follow kind of the law, even though we do have some ways of interpreting the laws that give us maybe a few more options, but the essence I guess is the same. Apart from the fact that if you do something wrong, it's your life that's on the line when flying, compared to being a lawyer where someone else's life. That was a really bad joke. Okay, let's see. So I put the flaps to 0. I think we're climbing maybe a bit too much now, so we're just gonna trim the plane a bit more.
Climb to flight level 100, radar director on 131.0 Atlantic 4003.
And it would be nice to have the autopilot. So let me just see.
Radar director Atlantic 4003 climbing to flight level 100.
100. Oh, that's our flight level. I guess that would be the maximum to go up to 10,000 feet. I'm just gonna take that down a bit, the throttle power. Probably don't want the engines running too on that with that much power for that long. Let's see, autopilot masters, that would be this one.
Heading 255 Atlantic 4003.
Guess we would want to put this one. Let's put like that. Let's see, now we have the autopilot. But it's probably not. Let me see here. Because it's turning a bit to the right, we should actually be trying to... Oh yeah, it's the caging. That's how. So I should have pressed that one, and now I can kind of tweak. Because it's the bottom one. 1, 2, 3, 1. Then we should be able to get on the right. But I'm gonna go a bit further because I want to line up. We're a bit off the course, I would think. Let's see, 2, 3, 1. So that's a bit more. So let's resume navigation. Sometimes I love these AI voices. But they're getting better. Some of them are really good actually. Almost, I mean, almost human sounding. Not really. Or I guess they're not AI voices. I guess they're just kind of like some sort of playback voices. I'm not sure. I mean, because it's not like beyond 280C. I think this is just like the Windows built-in one. Or maybe they are AI voices actually. Okay, let's just put our heading 231, which should be the course. We're still climbing, we have quite good airspeed. I mean, now the manifold pressure is quite high, but let's see if I just decrease the props quite a bit.
Center on 118.77, take care Atlantic 4003.
Doesn't seem to have too much of an impact on the manifold pressure. Oh yeah, there was the autopilot master as well.
Center Atlantic 4003, climbing to flight level 100.
Probably don't need the wipers now, so you can turn those off. And now we are... Feels like we're getting quite a bit of wind, so we're even pushed to the right, so we should probably do a like 229 heading instead. Autopilot. Do I have elevation? Oh yeah, I can kind of tweak it here. Let's go a bit higher in pitch. I think we can climb. This one seems to have a lot of power in it. Let's look a bit on the outside. It's quite nice. I must say, I mean, I don't think it's DVR, but it's really a nice looking aircraft. I also want to say sorry if you see some of these like black boxes popping up. I think it has something to do with my NVIDIA drivers. Like for some reason in V5.4 and some other games, like things that like explode, I guess like lightning, or I think in some strategy games like bombing, like they use this black clear spot. So if you see that, that's why nothing wrong with your computer, it's fine. And then what else? Yeah, I really like this tours I have for England. It's probably the best kind of like photo wheel you can get in V5.4. Let me just jump in. Now you can see the screen in the clouds, but it's super nice looking. Now we're climbing quite fast. Maybe we'll go to 10,000. I'm pretty sure this isn't a pressurized aircraft. Maybe the military version had like its own masks or whatever you put on. Windscreen fluid, can't see it at least on the civilian version, but okay, let's see, we don't need to climb that much, we can put it down. And now I think we're still being pushed a bit to the right. I'm gonna do a bit, we're heading to 27. Sorry for that. Coughing again. Let's see. Because I guess you would at this point kind of switch from quite soon, because we are like at our designated altitude. We want to switch from outer ridge to a lean mixture, and then I guess we want to bring the props down a bit, because you wouldn't need them to run on full. Let's see how this will go. We'll be in the clouds for quite a while. But it's a short trip. I think we have like 52 nautical miles left to the VR, and then after that we'll turn. Hopefully it will be vectored in, but I'm gonna turn left on a track of 173, around that 170. I guess we'll also start our descent along those lines. I think the altitude for the approach is around 2,000 feet. But let me check that actually. I'm gonna open. I have some. I don't have a Navigraph now. I would want that, but I'm trying to stay a bit away from too many subscriptions. So let me see here. Charts for airports. Do I have one myself, or have I? You know, usually like this Chartfox is like a free tool. They have some nice. They have some really nice. Let me jump into that quickly just to show you. If you go to C2 like that, and here you would do like, okay, so you want Cardiff. We have some charts, probably a bit outdated, but you know, sometimes quite nice. You can see like the aerodrome. You can switch, you know, see things. We will be running on landing on runway 30. You can see like the elevation, 213 feet. Oh. Wait, now I need to focus a bit. I think we have reached our designated altitude, so I'm gonna go 10,000. Sorry about that. Let me just see, that should be good. And then, let me just put the approach. Just gonna try to level off. Wait, I'll switch screen, or back to the original screen. So you can see we kind of reached 10,000 feet, and now I've just kind of done the elevator here. This is the old kind of, I'm trying to figure out what it's called. Sperry autopilot or something. I mean, I would say quite advanced for its time, but maybe not the amazing things compared to what we have today. So let's see, now we're kind of going at around a bit below. I'm just gonna put this to the normal one. 2992, I guess, is the reference kind of barrel, or the standard one. But okay, let's see. Let's switch back to screen number 2, or screen number 2. So the approach chart. I think we can only kind of fly a LOC, our localizer approach, because I don't think we have like a glide slope with this aircraft that I'm currently using. Not sure if that's a limitation of the aircraft itself or a limitation of the version that we are seeing in the sim. But I guess it could make sense. It's like 1944 model that they didn't have glide slopes. Even though I mean, it's just radio signals, so you could imagine that they were quite early, or developed quite early. But so let's see. So we have 110.70 is the VOR. So you can kind of use that as well to see that we're going the right direction if we're flying IFR by inserting it here. And then let me see if I oh wait, sorry, now I'm showing it from the screen. I'm just gonna jump. So basically, just gonna jump back quickly. But yeah, so basically it would switch here. I remember I just forgot to show the radio panel. It would switch here. I'll use my Logitech radio panels for that. But here it would switch to the right. To the right. To the right. What's it called? The radio frequency. Frequency is the word. God, I was thinking like coordinates, but no, it's frequency. Too many different words to remember. Let me just jump back, and I think they want us to start descending as well. But here I just wanted to quickly show that the minimums, right? So it's like 500, I think. So that's our minimums that we kind of gotta remember. And then the course for the runway is 297. So that's good to keep in mind. Okay, so let's go back
Expedite
now.
descent to flight level 100 and landing 4003.
Let me see if they want us to descend or if it's expedite descent to flight level 10. Oh, it's just because we're a bit above that now. I mean, it's not a perfect autopilot, so it's going to jump a bit up and down. But that's just the way it is. Also, a good thing to remember is this I just saw here on the kind of glare shield, is that you have like a max permissible speed, normal speed 180 miles, and then max is 235. And I'm gonna guess, I'm gonna think if it's air knots or if it's in miles per hour. I would guess this would be in... Oh, this would all be in air knots, right? This is gonna go above. But then I'm wondering if we have anything to say what we are kind of flying in terms of miles per hour. I guess you can calculate that, but good to be aware of. Okay, let's see, we're still descending, albeit slowly. I'm just going to descend a bit more. Let's have a look at the weather. We do have some thunder cells to our right. I think we'll be able to kind of get away from them. I'm just going to turn a bit to left to hedge ourselves from that. With the active sky I use, it gets quite bumpy, otherwise don't wanna try that too much. Let's jump out a bit. So, as you can see, we're going over the beautiful English, or I guess British countryside. I guess now we're in Wales, so the Wales countryside, or close to Wales. That's the border region, we're coming up to that. And I guess it gets a bit more hilly towards this area. But yeah, just beautiful with the truer. I don't use the True Sky from V3D version 5 because they're quite buggy. I mean, the 2D clouds are buggy as well, but these they kind of show, you know, when I'm standing on the ground looking up, these look fairly more accurate than the True Sky clouds. I might try that in the future, let's see. But I mean, just look at the true Earth ones. I mean, definitely a recommendable product with the nice, I mean, the trees just look amazing from above. It's really amazing what they did with the True Earth. Gonna jump into the cockpit again. I don't know if they do True Earth anymore. I think for X-Plane 12, so if I play X-Plane 12, yeah, maybe I'll get some True Earths for that one just to kind of compare. Let's see, I think we're going quite close to this thunder. I'm just gonna turn quite a bit just to make sure we don't hit that. I think we can ask for a deviation. Let me see. I haven't used that. Check if they have something. Can't find, but I'm pretty sure they should have something for like weather deviations, like some sort of a request for just, you know, deviating from course, just so that the ATC is aware of that. But yeah, I can't find it now, unfortunately. I'll have to have a look on, about that later stage. See if I can find the culprit for why I can't see it, or if I at least can find the reason why I am missing it. It's probably just something obvious, you know, behind one of the requests. You have this different request with Prepar3d that you can do. I should really just learn all of them, but not all of them are that intuitive, unfortunately. Okay, let's see. So now we have been, so now they want us to climb
and maintain flight level 100 and landing 4003.
Maybe we can trim it up. Or is the trim controlled by the autopilot? Okay, I guess that would make sense. So the trim is controlled by the autopilot, setting the autopilot set the trim, which would impact the pitch, of course. Okay, let's see. I'm now climbing just steadily amount, not too much, not too little. I'm gonna try to get us back on track now, since I think we have kind of survived or gotten through the bad weather.
Expedite climb to flight level 100 and landing 4003.
Now they want us to expedite climb. And now you can see it's getting quite windy. So I'm wondering if this is a direct cause of being kind of close to this cell. It is such a small plane. And quite like a fat one. This one must be like really susceptible to winds, considering the size of the fuselage with the rest of the airplane. Okay, so now we got approach. I'm just gonna check manually if we have any sort of indication of the altimeter 294. That's quite fine. View at 600 feet, so that's gonna be interesting. Now they want us to descend again. It's just because I'm going back and forth, I should really just try to find the right one, but it's such a short flight. 294. I mean, it's quite close to, so I'm just gonna put it in here now already, even though you probably wouldn't do that. You know, each airport in Europe has kind of their own transition altitude, if I'm not mistaken. So I guess you would change to the right, sorry, not altitude, oh yeah, transition altitude for the altimeter setting. So I guess you would change that once you reach or cross that transition altitude. Let's see now. Yeah, sorry, focusing on trying to get this altitude somewhat aligned. It's super hard to get it right. I always have the problem with this sort of old school autopilot. I mean, they weren't that refined, right? So it's more difficult. But let's see, now we're kind of close. I think this would be like the hills quite close to, I mean, now I would assume Cardiff is down here, so the Cardiff airport is somewhere around here. I think you can see the sea now as well, yeah, down there. So it's probably not too far. Maybe it's that one already, or a bit further. Okay, let's see now. We still haven't really switched the VR. Now we're descending too much. Put it up. We should get some sort of descent clearance soon. I mean, what, it's like 20 nautical miles then left from the VR once we cross that. Oh, but now I know why. So pilot did see kind of signs at the top of the descent point. So I guess when you cross that, they will start giving you descent procedures. So that's kind of what we're waiting for, and I think it's gonna come up right around the VR. Let's see. So the VR was 110.70, and then 297 was kind of the approach course. So let's see how we're doing. We should be quite close to turning. I'm just gonna check a bit to see if the VR needle is updating, but nothing so far. That must be Cardiff, 100%. I'm gonna zoom in a bit. Coming up there in the distance. And as you can see, these are kind of the 600 feet clouds. Now we got the vectors. So heading 180. Percent to 4,000
vectors in
feet.
the localizer. Yankee approach for runway 30, descend and maintain 4,000 feet. Altimeter is 2994, Atlantic 4003.
Go down with the throttle. I mean, I haven't even touched the propellers, so that's a bit. I mean, we still had quite a good speed. So that was a bit interesting. Or I didn't even switch from rich to lean fuel, so I guess some things aren't simulated as I had hoped. But I still think, I mean, just flying it now, I mean, nothing weird has kind of happened, nothing has gone like crazy. And that's always a good sign, unfortunately, with a lot of aircraft. I mean, even with some of the better ones, like Aerosoft or similar with V5.4d, like some weird stuff will happen and you kind of lose faith in that plane. And then you don't really want to fly it, which is a bit sad, to be honest. Because, you know, some are good aircraft, but then just like one bug or something is gonna really mess it up. Okay, 170, and we are descending now. 1,000, that's pretty good. Let's decrease the speed a bit more, or the what's it called, the RPM, the power. I guess you couldn't decrease it to 0 with these old ones. I would shut kind of the engine down if I'm not mistaken, but yeah, at least we can decrease it quite a bit. Let me just check if I have something on the checklist in terms of what I'm gonna turn a bit more though, so we can kind of get, because I'm pretty sure the wind is gonna be pushing us the other way. So let's see. Do I have that checklist? I do. Anything specific here on landing? This is like a really basic checklist that came with the plane. I'm just gonna show it quickly here. It's just, you know, this one, I think it's the original Douglas DC-3 one that's kind of used, so I don't think it doesn't seem to have anything specific, unfortunately. But they did change the name here to Bristol Freighter pilot mode, so I guess that's something. So I'm just gonna, I guess, do a generic checklist. I'm gonna move this away so you can see the flight. Okay, we probably need to descend more. Because I'm pretty sure the airport is gonna be there, around there. And here's Cardiff. I think you have the stadium here somewhere as well. Let me just have a quick look. It should be included. I think that's the stadium, right? Or no, do they have 2 stadiums maybe? Oh yeah, probably. It's the UK, right? So they probably have a lot of football teams needing their own stadiums. So I can at least spot 1 or 2, maybe 3 stadiums as well. I would presume football stadiums, but you know, who knows, rugby or similar probably has their own stadiums. Okay, we're descending to 4,000 feet. And it's going quite alright. I guess since we're on the approach, this would be kind of the sterile phase of the of the healthy flight, so we shouldn't really talk about stadiums, but this one kind of is easier to fly. I'm not gonna be too strict with that. But let's see. I guess we could have closed. Wait, what is that one? No clue what this one does. Maybe it's for window, opening the window. That would make sense. So the taxi lights would have been off. I presume you wouldn't be using them. The landing lights would probably be off. Oh yeah, the nav lights, that should have been on flash, I'm pretty sure. Just generally steady, I guess, would be like just when we're on the kind of ground. But yeah, let's put the landing, let's have the nav lights on. Not sure about the taxi lights, like they have like taxi runway lights. I'm just gonna put them on as well. I guess you would, if they were like taxi runway lights, you would probably put them on when you're on final. Okay, turn right, 180,
180, landing 4003.
Let's do 170 first, and then let's see. Okay, we're still descending. We're now at 5,000. So it's, we're going quite good, I would say. I think we'll make it. I still think the airport is trying to think of it. If you look on the outside, it's probably, we're probably going to go out a bit towards or into like the bay or whatever you want to call it, and then turn right to get that 297 course. Which I guess we'll just kind of have to hand fly, or I guess we can use the autopilot for a bit and then switch. I think also the altitude was about 1,600 for the approach, so let's try to stabilize at that, or 2,000 maybe. Okay, let's see, we are still going down now, we're soon at 4,000, we haven't... Okay, 1,600 feet is our descent clearance now, so we can continue descending. Let's decrease a bit more. But maybe try a bit with the propellers so we get a bit slower on the speed. We really don't need to be going this fast. We can do it like that. Now it looks at least like the RPMs, which would be shown here. Are they affected? So they are affected a bit at least. Now we're below 4,000, we're going to 1,600. Let's do 180 now. We're a bit winging it here. You should of course always obey the ATC's commands. I did not really do that, but I'm gonna trust my judgment here with the wind. So let's just see from the outside a bit. So yeah, quite a thin and low cloud layer. And there we have another aircraft. I'm gonna assume it's also coming for the Cardiff approach. Let me just zoom in a bit on it and see. KLM maybe, or... No clue what that was.
Heading 180 Atlantic 4003.
Yeah, and this one doesn't give the information. Okay, fly heading 270.
Fly heading 270 cleared for localizer on Lee approach runway 30 tower on 133.1 Atlantic 4003.
Let's turn to 270. You can see I'm putting it here on the cage. And now we are at around 2,000 feet, so we don't want to be descending anymore. I'm just going to put the autopilot. Let's see with this one. What was it? 297 I think we had. Let me put in the right one, 110.70, and then 297. Okay, let's see if we can.
Contact tower on 133.1 Atlantic 4003.
Okay, that's good. We're still a bit descending.
Tower Atlantic 4003 inbound for localizer approach runway 30.
And there's the runway. I'm gonna turn already a bit.
Altimeter is 29er for Atlantic 4003.
I really don't need to be. I'm gonna increase a bit the speed. I'm gonna do flaps 1.
Continue
We don't need
localizer
to
approach to runway 30 will call when established on final Atlantic 4003.
I wanna get on that localizer. We're a bit to the left of it. Let's increase again. I'm put flaps 1. Let me see what's the landing flag. Maximum lowering speed, max to 124 knots, and we're beneath that, so it should be fine. Let's go to flaps 2. I'm gonna again try to take the wind into consideration. I mean, logically, we could just kind of hope that that one will get out of our way, but I'm just gonna try to reset UT live, and hopefully, yeah. So I kind of deleted that aircraft. I just sometimes hate when the AI kind of shows up in, or unannounced, and then you kind of have to do a go around, unless you of course just want to land on top of it. I don't have damage on, so I wouldn't at least be crushed by it, but would I guess hurt my pride. Let's go flaps 3. I'm not sure the flaps for this one. I mean, we'll just do flaps full just to make sure we're safe on that. I'm gonna remove now the autopilot and hand fly this. So let's see, so we don't have any kind of glide slope guidance. I guess, is that vertical guidance? Maybe, yeah. So let's see, we're still above, we're a bit below the poppies though, so we do have at least the visual guidance from the poppies. I'm gonna increase a bit with the engines. Let's see, I'm gonna guess you should probably go somewhere around 100 knots with this one. So that's the flaps that have gone down fully. Let's see, now I'm gonna turn a bit to the right, make sure that we are kind of aligned, and we need to go down. I'm going to presume around 400, 500 feet per minute is a good vertical
Clear to land
speed.
runway 30 Atlantic 4003.
And we got the landing clearance. Or maybe we should have said established on final. I didn't call that one out, so that was my mistake. Well, at least we got the landing clearance anyway. So let's see. Oh, and there's a nice aqueduct as well here to the right. Okay, let's see. Still going good with the poppies. We are maybe a bit high on speed, so I'm just gonna throttle down a little bit. I don't think we need to. I mean, we have full flaps on, so I'm presuming we have quite a low stall speed. Even though we are quite heavy, but yeah. Let's just hope for the best. Let's not risk it either. Okay. Okay, we're a bit low now. But kind of within the what do you say? We still have the one poppy on our side, so we should be fine. Also 3 reds, 1. Now we got the 2. Now we're down a bit. Let's see, and if the wind is coming up a bit. Unless we need to use the flaps a bit here on the landing. Okay, we missed the runway point a bit. Oh, but we kind of got down. I think that was a reasonably smooth landing. Possibly a bit of a tail strike though, so that would have been too good. We would want to land with the front 2 wheels first. Probably should have trimmed it a bit better. Let's see. So that's good. I think we can remove the flaps. I don't think this has any sort of like speed brake. Probably not. So let me just kind of go towards the end here. I'm gonna put on the tail so it's not locked anymore. Then let me taxi out of here. Let's see, I think you can just ask for taxi and then it should be fine. Atlantic 4003, ready to taxi. Ah, there we go.
Taxi to
4.
stand 14 and landing 4003.
Okay, I'm gonna guess we don't need the nav lights, and probably can just do steady. With the with the nav light we will do steady, and then we don't need the landing lights, so we can keep taxi lights. So quite a nice flight, short one, but I hope at least you get to see a bit of it. I know I don't really have like a perfect format for this kind of flights. Maybe, you know, in the future I'll have like more strict kind of formula that I'll follow, but I'm just, you know, now trying to show you kind of a bit of different add-ons that might not be the ones that are most typically showed, and then, you know, I'll show some of the more obvious ones as well, and maybe, you know, I'll find something I'll prefer flying and sharing with you on YouTube, but let's see. Let's hope it's not full here. I'm also not sure about the cargo. Where would they kind of be put here? I mean, I could just request, of course, GSX to send me like somewhere to park. I'm just gonna try to park here with the Embraers. Okay, right and left was clear. Probably only general aviation that would go that way. So let's see. Maybe next to the dash. I'm just gonna jump out of it. Yeah, maybe we can just put ourselves there. So this is the the Birmingham was the UK 2000 Birmingham version, and this Cardiff version is the one that comes with the Cardiff regional airports. I think there's a UK 2000 version as well, but I think this one looked better, at least image-wise, so I kind of got it, because I got the regions when I was flying FSX. I still have FSX installed, but I don't fly it as often, just because I've had so many CTDs issues, and you know, with the, what's it called, with the virtual access memory stuff, you know, it's always something crashing, and you need to have like really toned down settings, so that's a bit unfortunate, because I think it's still a pretty good sim. And you know, you have some nice add-ons that are only in that sim compared to other ones, even up until this day. So let's see, I'm just gonna park here, and then I'm gonna put on the parking brakes, and then let's see. There's probably some shutdown procedure. My guess is fuel flow is probably related to that. But then I would mainly, maybe it's the cutoff levers. Let me see if you do that. Does that have any effect? Oh, here was the cutoff, sorry, that was the propellers. Now we're cutting the engines. So that was a bit of a rough one. You probably wouldn't want to just do it like that. Probably not good for the engines. But okay, so let's see. I'm just gonna show you like the basic replay function. Now I shut the engines, we might not have working propellers, but let's hope we do. Let's do 360 seconds maybe. Maybe a bit too far out. Let's just to have fasten things up, maybe do 330. There's the aqueduct. And here we're coming in for the landing. Maybe a bit low on the approach. As you can see, the wind is definitely coming on our left side here, because we're kind of moving towards the wind in order to stay on the center line, which we are quite nicely doing. I still feel like maybe my approach was a bit more like flying a Boeing 737. Just looking at it now, it probably should have been trimmed so we can land with the fronts first. Now it was the back and the front wheels touching down at the same time. You can see the aircraft did not like that. Not the best landing, but I mean, probably a survivable one. I don't think it was a hard touchdown, probably less than 400 or 500. I would say maybe around 200 feet per minute landing, so should have been fine, but definitely would need a maintenance check. But okay, I think that was it with the FSAddon's Bristol Freighter. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment or just drop me a DM, or I guess a private message, whatever it's called on YouTube. And yeah, I think we finally got a non-CTD flight, even though this was on my second try, right? So good enough. Take care, guys.